Alright, just getting us up on YouTube. That should be up and going. Alright, let's see if we break this high real quick momentarily and reject. Again, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Although VIX is dropping lower, equities are strong. It's hard to fight a trend like that. But if we get the rejection up here, and we also get ES rejecting supply too, it's going to be a bull trap, right? It's going to look bullish, but then we're going to end up selling off. It's all going to be a liquidity grab. It's all going to be volume. It's all going to be fuel to help us push lower. Alright, I'm going to set my limit order there. Ooh, did miss my fill. The fill would be a 10 to 1 risk to reward on that. I'm risking 80, well, risking 75 to make 805 on MNQ. That's if it comes back and fills me right here. But look at how ES just rejected that supply too, so I don't know if I'm going to get that fill. Yo, what up, Phoenix Trader? What's going on? Welcome to our YouTube. Come on, give us one more pump up. Just want to hit that 15.53675 one more time. Oh, we're so close. Alright, I'm in. I'm in, and I got my stop loss so tight, guys. Oh my god, I hit my stop immediately. That's crazy. I probably could have given the stop a little higher. You know, I put it at this key level right here. But again, I didn't want to fight the trend too much, so I put a really tight stop loss, and I sort of let it do its thing. Wicked me out, stopped me out right away. That's okay. No problem. Nothing I can't come back from, because now with this trading view tool, I'm able to really visualize what I'm risking and what my reward is, and it's really, really ideal. It's really clean. What is this NASDAQ? We got anything up here showing any sign of? Let's see. If we close up here on NASDAQ and break higher, I'm going to look to use this area as demand and go higher. But ES would also need to break this 2-hour supply zone, right? And look, we rejected it once, twice, 3 times. So now we need another push higher to go through that. Now look at the 15-minute. Got a basing candle and a rally candle. So with that being said, I might wait for this 15-minute to close and take the next 15-minute bullish once it retests in this zone. So again, equities are looking strong. Microsoft did have that gap and go so far. It's already up $2 in that first candle, and it's rising, right? Look at that. Really nice, really nice. All from that demand zone, guys. This was in a demand zone for a while, then it popped from the Amazon taking earnings well. The video also gap and go. Yeah, really strong market right there. I like NASDAQ's really strong. I'm really liking that.
set up a little trade, so I'm going to walk away and get a cup of tea while it does this thing.
All right. Make sure you have your stop loss in place.
Yes, sir, I do.
Very good. If anything, oh man, that's strong. That's crazy. 30 points on that. And VIX is dropping strong right now, too. Yo, morning, Richard. What's going on? Morning, Justin. Morning, Ironclad. Gizmo. EC. What's going on? YouTube. Hello, hello. You guys got any questions? Let me know. I know I got the camera turned off on YouTube today. Feeling very sick. Apple coming up to a demand zone that we only broke it because we gapped below it. And whenever we gap a zone, I like to try to play it as a supply zone if it's a demand zone. So I'm going to look for some type of rejection here. But because of how strong the market is right now, and if we look at our relative strength, right, everything's green. Very strong at the moment. What's AMD doing? AMD is one of the strongest. Look at that. Had a gap up, and now it's pumping higher. It's already up $2 for today. And here goes Apple with a tough time in the zone right now. Meta really strong as well. Microsoft too. Really clean gaps and goes, guys. Really strong market. There's that area of interest on Nasdaq. But just because we're at an area of interest doesn't mean we have to go short. We have to take in for account that we have been bullish lately. Why do you have gaps in the market? Yo, welcome, Caleb. He's asking a question in the YouTube guys. He said, "Why do we have gaps in the market?" I'm new. We have gaps in the market when we don't really get gaps in futures too often, but we get gaps in equities, right? When we get gaps in equities, it usually means there's some type of pre-market move or some type of news that helps us move the market. We don't always get news that moves it, right? So Tesla had a little bit of a gap, about a dollar or two gap. But when we have things like, let me put Amazon back on there. Amazon had earnings last night, and that brought us from 128 to 140. So a strong earnings report, right? So the stock went up. Microsoft went up with it. And we get gaps just based off of the market moving when the market's not opened. Again, I would be considering a short right here, stop loss right here, target right here. But I'm personally not taking that trade. I'd much rather wait for a pullback and and enter a long position down here and go higher. Yeah, because look how strong the market is right now. And look at VIX is dropping too strong. That's bullish. ES broke its 2 hour supply zone. That's awesome. No problem, Caleb. We got some pullback on our equities right now. We had a nice rejection candle on Microsoft. We are getting rejection from the zone on Apple. So, guys, what I would look for on Apple, if I do want to play some type of bear move on apples, I would look for us to reject out of the supply zone, come back, and create a lower high. Once we create that lower high, I would take it short, buy some puts, and just ride the wave lower with my stop loss at the highs. And if we were looking at Apple options, they're super cheap today because it's a 0 day. So again, I would wait for a pullback. Maybe we'll hold VWAP, pump back higher, create a lower high. Oh, look at that. That NASDAQ play would have played out very nice. But now we're back in this zone. Let's see if we hold up right there. But again, we have that 15-minute that almost created a demand zone. But now that we're getting this wick, it might not. I wouldn't consider any shorts here, but just stay patient. Could be head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, and then maybe if we like chop in here, be a right shoulder over here. So definitely just staying patient on this, guys. No reason to rush any trades, no reason to force any trades. If anything, that area of interest was really nice and played well, but we're just staying patient. It is Friday, so things like to chop on Friday. Let's see if we hold up in this zone on ES. Part of me would consider, what's it called? An ES long, right? Maybe target up here. But we really need that market to have some follow through. Now, if we're getting too weak, right off that key level, right off that key level. Looking like we do want to go higher. We're going to stay patient. Apple looking weak. Again, guys, we're sort of choppy right now. The market did just open. We did have the news in the morning. We had, what was it? It was non-something. Non-farm? Payroll?
Non-farm payroll.
Yeah, non-farm payroll. I know Sig was bullish today, right?
Yes, very much so. Assuming that it reaches a certain point, then
Right.
he said he's bullish. But did you catch the bit about the gap as well?
Yeah. All right, so look at that. ES held this key level and NASDAQ held this key level. But again, NASDAQ could be creating this left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. But we can't assume it's making a head and shoulders because it's also creating now a higher high right there and lower highs right here. But also look for NASDAQ's 1 hour to close too, guys. Always good to keep an eye on the 1 hour candles. Look how strong ES's 1 hour is. And then look how weak NASDAQ's 1 hour is. It's not weak because it's red. It's weak because we have a long wick up here. Yeah, strong moves right off of that key level. Just gonna stay patient. No reason to force a trade. We got how many hours in the day? 6.5 hours in a trading day, and it's not even the first 30 minutes yet. Patience is key, guys. Let's see. How's the 30-minute looking? 30 minutes pretty choppy, up and down, but we are now making higher lows and higher highs. Same with NASDAQ, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Staying patient. Go with the trend. Trend is our friend. See if we got any trend lines forming. Not really seeing anything too clean, and if there's nothing clean, I'm not marking it out. Nope. Maybe I'll keep this one for a second. No, not a fan of it. Too many wicks through it. Nice drop on NASDAQ. But let's see if that key level wants to hold up again. Where was that trend line? Alright, yeah, no, we broke it. Damn, look at that. Look at that. Good stuff, good stuff. But let's see if we bounce over here, right? Because again, if we're looking at the hourly, now we're getting a rejection. We're getting ES is also looking bearish. Gotta see, wait and see. Nice NASDAQ drop. Right into that 8-hour demand. We got 2.5 minutes on this 5-minute though, so we're staying patient. Really no reason in forcing or rushing trades again, guys. Yo, what's going on, Liz? Welcome to the group. Welcome to the voice chat. Hello, hello, what's going on? It looks like you joined yesterday. Hello, welcome to our community. And Dazzlero too. Oh, I see you joined yesterday as well. Welcome. Appreciate you guys joining and tuning in. This morning we're going over a little price action, a little charting and whatnot. Yo, what up, Skybear and YouTube? What's going on? Oh, a whole bunch of people joining the YouTube right now. That's cool. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys got any questions, definitely don't hesitate. Definitely let me know. I'm checking the chats as we go. In Discord, you guys always feel free to chat if you want. You could turn the push to talk on Discord. Say whatever you'd like. PG-13, that is. So, nice rejection off the 8-hour demand so far on NASDAQ, but we're still staying patient. We don't want to... we don't want to jump in just because we hit the demand zone. And for those who are just joining, I do apologize. I've been running with a little bit of a flu lately. I know it's the middle of summer, weird times to get the flu. Caught it in the hospital, so that's fun. But we'll get there, we'll get better. And gotta remember, we're trading and we're not 100% in our mindset, whether we're sick, got a stomach ache, didn't sleep enough, something's going on at home. Our mentality's not 100%, and we can't trade to 100% because we need to be all here. We need to be 100% in the stock market to perform accordingly and to be able to really follow our routine and trade plan. YouTube guys, don't forget to hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe. We do go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday for you guys. And this week's webinar, guys, Saturday, I might do it on just charting, like how I chart my zones on futures and equities. So it's going to be a good one. It's not really going to be one like I've been doing with the slides and stuff. It's going to be more of just a tutorial. So it's going to be a good video. Got 15 seconds left in this 5-minute. And what time is it? And we got 6 minutes left in the 15-minute, right? So we're staying patient, guys. Let's check it out. NASDAQ, guys, the 15-minute. Remember, this was a big green candle. That looked great. Looks like we were creating a demand zone here. And then we just failed. Coming back into this 8-hour. Not taking this trade long, even though we have the support of demand zone here. We could if we run a really short stop loss, really tight stop loss, but we'd be fighting the trend. We just had a strong reaction to the downside. Let's see. A lot of selling pressure too, guys. Let's check out what our equities are doing. Equities seem bearish, right? Microsoft had this big rejection candles trying to push lower. Real nice pushes lower. Look at this, guys. Apple created that lower high that I was talking about. We use this area as supply, so that's really clean. See, that's why we weren't getting in. Just because we're in demand doesn't mean we're going to go higher. We have to put the pieces of the puzzle together and get multiple confirmations before we take a trade. If we're getting in trades blindly or with just one confirmation, we're asking for trouble. We're asking for more losses than we need. Let me go over, while the market's sort of just chopping around, let me go over what I figured out with the long position, short position on TradingView. So let's do a long position just to mess around with. And let's say our risk is $250, right? And US dollar, you put your account size, whether you're trading with 50K, 100K, it's even 2,000. We always want to put our account size in there so it measures it accordingly. And it doesn't even matter, if you're trading with a 50K, but you would rather look at it as 100,000, that's fine. But what's great with this is it actually does the math for you. Because if you wanted to risk 2% of that, then you could change this to percentage, and you could do 2%. Right? And then it'll tell you how much you're risking. You're risking 1,000 to make, 1,000 to make 1,000, right? So if we move our stop loss up, and what's cool is once we move our stop higher and we get a higher risk to reward, this number right here, this 5, you see how it moves around? That's how many contracts we would need to make that risk to reward, right? So that would be 8 contracts, still risking 1,000, only risking now 3 points or 2.5 points to make 7.25 points, and that's going to be making 2,900 because it's a 2.9 risk to reward. So it's super helpful. I like to use it. I like to use it as a US dollar though, and I'll say, let's say we want to risk $250 a trade, because risking 1,000 per trade isn't that good, especially if you're on a $50,000 account. A lot of people in here trade the Apex, the funded accounts and stuff, so you don't want to be risking 1,000 because then you're going to be hitting that trail stop a lot sooner than you should. So right now, if this is a 2.9 to 1 and I'm risking $250 on the risk, it's going to tell me I need 2 contracts, and my reward's going to be 725 because it's a 2.9 to 1. And if I move this around a bit, and let's make it a 3 to 1 risk to reward. Let's see if we could do that. See, sometimes it won't be too clean because we made it 250, right? There we go, 3 to 1 risk to reward. So it says we need 1.8 contracts. So it would usually round down if I right click and I hit create order. Say I did have my brokerage account connected to it, it'll create that order for me. It'll create a buy limit right here. It'll create a sell limit right here and a sell stop right here. And it tells you it's negative 250 if it hits your sell stop, and it's plus 750 if it hits your target. So it's really, really helpful. I like it a lot. It's good too, especially guys, if you're trading like micro contracts instead of it being like 2.7 contracts of ES, it'll be micro. So it'll be like, let's see, MES. No, not Mitsubishi. Again, this is just an example. Don't take this trade. I'm just showing you guys how the tool works. So say we wanted to risk 250 and we have a 3.25 stop. Now we adjust our stop loss to wherever price action tells us to, right? So if we put it all the way down here, it would tell us we need 2 contracts. But this would be a 0.3 risk to reward. This is not a risk to reward you want to take. We want something that's like a 2 to 1, a 3 to 1, something better. We want this to be a 2 or higher. So if we wanted new high a day, we were entering here, we would need 14 contracts. We'd be risking 250, but our target, we'd be making 1,160 because we would be able to get 14 contracts because our stop loss is so tight and our risk to reward on this trade is over 4. It's almost a 5-to-1 risk to reward. That would be a really great trade to take. It'd be very profitable. And these are the types of trades we want to be consistent with to grow our accounts, because once you're able to consistently hit 2-to-1s and stuff and you're always risking 250, then let's say you're always risking 250 and you're always hitting 3-to-1 risks or rewards, then you could win 2 of them, be up 750 times 2, which brings us to about 150. I'm usually good with math, I promise. Yeah, 1,500. That's what I meant by 150. So 1,500 would be your profit from just 2 trades. Now, if you made 1,500 from 2 trades, you'd be able to lose. Let's see. You'd be able to lose 5 trades and still be up $250. So you would win 2, lose 5, and still be profitable. How amazing is that? So when you go on losing streaks, it won't even matter. You'll just have to take a step back, refigure out what's going on, but it won't even make that much of a difference due to the fact that you have a high risk to reward and you're always risking the same amount. So that's super important. Yo, morning Kumar, what's going on? Morning T-Pizzle, it's popping. Alright, so let's get that out of there. Let's throw ES back on there so we see our zones and stuff. But obviously, bears are in control. Equities are weak. Apple back to selling off again. Look at Meta. Meta is trying to fill its gap lower, right? That'd be a $3 move, about a $5 move from the highs. Microsoft's really trying to make its way back into this demand zone. Look how weak Nvidia is right here, guys. Very weak. And see that? I'm glad we didn't take any longs here. Again, we don't take longs just because we're wicking off of demand. We want confirmation. Hey, yo, what's going on? Alright, so that was a little bit of the lesson for today. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys learned something from that, because that was some good stuff. Let's keep an eye for divergence over here, guys. So obviously NASDAQ is weaker than ES, but NASDAQ's about to break the lows, whereas ES is still above the lows. So ES might make a higher low, which would be right here. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Higher low. Higher low. Whereas NASDAQ, it did just create a higher low so far. Low, higher low. This would actually be, look, a lower low, lower low, lower low. See if NASDAQ wants to go make another lower low. You can't add text to these. Yeah, I think NASDAQ's going to want that lower low. Check out right here, guys. This was sort of a trade setup we saw. And the risk to reward on this would have been, right, our stop loss would have been the top of this area of interest, would have been a 10-to-1. And if we were risking, this is just risking $80 to make $800 because it's 10-to-1. Whereas if we changed it up and we said we want our risk to be higher, so our reward will be higher, we'll do, let's say even 300, right? Then we'd be risking 300 to make 3,000. And that's really, really big, right? We want those better trades. We want good risk to reward. Those are the solid trades that we could take when we have tight stop losses. Yo, morning, Thomas. What's going on, bro? I haven't seen you in here in a while. How you doing?
Morning, morning. That's correct. I become, I did, be, I became a dad. Whoa, that was
You
difficult to say,
became a
but
dad?
I did. Yes, yes, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. So yeah, now I have a little baby boy
Aw,
in the world. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
that's awesome.
Congratulations.
thank you very much. So yeah, that's why. So I'm just checking the markets in a bit because between diapers and food. There's not much time left, but yeah, man.
No, that's great, man. That's really great. Congratulations. That's
Thank you
awesome.
very much. Thank you very much. How are you been doing? How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're good. We're chilling. Nothing new. We missed you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice to be part of a community. Feels good to hear.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Good to have you part of our community. And Melcat, what's going on, Melcat? I see you just jumped in here too. What's going on? Good morning. See, we got this trend line here, guys, that had one touch, two touches, three touches. So that's what validates a trend line for us. When a trend line only has two touches, it's not validated. Once we have three touches, it is validated. So now what I'm going to look for is a reversal here. I'm going to look for, let's see, I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for, guys. I'm going to look for a liquidity grab candle, which would be a red candle, long wick on the bottom, and then I would look for the next candle to open, break through it. My entry would be right here, and my target would be right up here at first, right? So I'd be risking 250 to make 629. Let's see. Sort of would rather to target the highs, but we'll have to see how it's playing out, right? Because we do have to remember we have been making like higher days, right? We've been making a new high, new high, new high, new high, but we've also just crashed and made some lower lows. But again, this could be a liquidity grab because we need a liquidity to add fuel to the next move. You got to think of liquidity as fuel for the move. The market is a car; it needs its fuel. Yep, Mark, that's a great point. Mark said we're flirting with pre-market low and already below yesterday's close and Globex open for NQ. Great points, but you got to remember too that's also what people are looking for. Whenever I mention retail, guys, I say it so vaguely because we have to see it as whatever retail's looking at. We want to inverse that. And the reason we want to inverse that is because there's a reason 90 to 95% of retail traders lose. It's because they're clouding their mind with a lot of judgment. They might not be trading right. They might not be looking at the right stuff. So once we find a trading strategy that fits us and works to our likings, then we're really able to take trades and we're able to do something over and over. Trading is we want to be able to repeat our trading strategy and setups over and over and journal it and adjust it. So for this liquidity grab, I would have preferred it closed red, then I would have taken it, but it didn't, so I'm not going to. I'm going to stay patient. It also created divergence, which would have been my second confirmation. Divergence being from here to here. And let's turn off right extension. And from here to here. Something I will mention, though, is that divergences haven't been playing out for too long, right? They've been playing out for a little bit, and then they've been reversing. So I'm going to be patient again. So far, so good on this trade. Even ES created some type of little liquidity grab on this candle because we had the body, and then we had a long wick on the bottom. right near the demand zone. Just stay impatient. Stay impatient. A lot of information, but I really want to learn. Yeah, Caleb, we're a really big community, and we have a lot of information to offer. We have a website, it's bullishbrs.com, and at that website, when you sign up, it comes with a lot of beginner information, a lot of places to start at, and it's really good. It's a good starting source for beginners. But it also has a lot of more educational and more in-depth services, just like what you're seeing here today. And, we go live every morning for our Discord community, but we only go live for YouTube Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That way, our Discord community gets more one-on-one time and stuff like that. And again, guys, don't forget we do have our webinars Saturday at 6. Tomorrow's webinar is going to be a little different from the past few that have all been mainly slides and examples. Tomorrow is going to be off of charting, and I'll probably just be doing charting, just charting itself, giving you guys real-time examples of how I chart equities, how I chart futures, and just how I chart in general. So let's take a look at equities right now. Speaking of equities, let's take a look. And what I'm looking at over here, guys, is my relative strength watch list. And what that is it's basically a handful of high-end large cap stocks that I sort by change percentage. And whatever has the highest change percentage, I see as the strongest. Whatever has the weakest change percentage is the weakest. So Apple being the weakest, and AMD and Microsoft being the strongest. So if I was trading equities and options, my rule would be I can't go short on an equity that's strong, and I can't go long on an equity that's weak. Staying patient on this now. We've got 40 seconds in the 5 minute. It's always good to take note of how much time we have left in the 5 minute. It's always good not to enter in the middle of a 5 minute. Because look, this candle at some point was all the way up here, and if you entered up here seeing, oh, well, it's strong, it's rejecting, then it's going to wick down on you and it's going to be tough, right? We would have got in at the high, would have got wicked lower. We would have also had to adjust our stop loss, and then that also sways our risk to reward. So we would have wanted to either enter when this candle closed with the long wick and try to ride it higher, or we wouldn't have wanted to take this at all and would have wanted to wait for this 5 minute to close up here to take it long. But now that we got that long wick, sort of tells me it's not going to continue. If anything, I'm sort of liking it to the bear side, but we'll just have to wait and see. Equities seem weak. Staying patient. VIX has been trying to push higher. There goes NASDAQ trying to hold higher still. So we're staying patient because bears were sort of just trapped for a moment. Alright, let's see. And what time is it? It's 10:17, so let's check out how the 15-minute candles have been forming. Let's also check out how the 30-minute candles have been. So let's see if we come up here, close up here to make a basing before we continue higher. Equities seem like they want to come back up higher, so let's see, let's be patient. Bring that down so you guys see what I'm looking at. You know, Sig mentioned gaps this morning from candles. That would be like this candle right here created a fair value gap right here. Right in this zone right here. So let's see if we come back there. Same with there. So let's see if we get back in this zone and maybe reject. I know I'm in a couple longs from down here, so we're just waiting. That's my target. And we got how much time in the 5 minute? We got about 14 seconds in the 5 minute. So it's looking strong. It's looking okay. Staying patient. I might look to trim some off there. Now equities are looking back weak again, but NASDAQ trying to stay strong. I'm out of one contract, just staying patient. Now that I'm out of one contract up here, right, and my entry was right here. I'm out of one contract here. The other ones are now at break even, so this is a no-lose trade. Probably gonna look to target somewhere in here. Pullbacks are okay. Market needs pullbacks. VIX has been trying to go lower. That's bullish. I did get back in another one on that pullback. Again, moving my stop loss to break even. We gotta add to our winners and cut our losses short. I'm liking how VIX's structure is. That's why I wanted to add to it. Once we get NASDAQ pushing stronger higher, that's going to help ES to push higher as well. And remember, guys, the market's not going to go straight to our target, but when we enter, we have to remember, when we enter, there's only two areas we could exit, at our target and at our stop loss. Everything in between is just noise. Nice move, nice move. Probably going to look to trim another one if we get another little pump here, just to play it safe. No, I like NASDAQ trying to push higher. Let's hold it. Let's let it ride. There we go. Now I'll take one off there. Oh, glad I took one off. That was quite the rejection we had for a moment. Got 30 seconds left, though. Looks like it does want to continue. I'm looking at VIX. VIX looks weak. A weak VIX is a strong ES. There we go. There we go. All right. Again, just holding one contract now. Moving stop loss to break even. A win-win trade. Very clean trade. I like it. But now look, we're in this area of interest I was talking about. So I'm going to exit my trade completely right there. So now I'm completely out. I got all out of that trade. Oh, sorry, Phoenix. I just saw your question. What was your entry for long? So I got long. Hold up. I gotta check my phone because my phone gives me the notifications. I got long. Bought ES at 452575. So right here, I'll throw the thing up. 452575. Right there. My target was right here. And my stop loss was right there. So it was a 3-to-1, right? So I got in a few contracts. It was a 3-to-1. It was a risking. I know that right now it says risking 80 to make 240, but that's usually about what a 3-to-1 would be. There's never a reason to rush trades or rush trying to make money in the market, especially if you guys are learning and you guys are new. Never feel like, oh, this next trade I have to win 1,000. I have to make 1,000. No, whatever the trade is, you have to take it as that trade. You have to size accordingly to your account, and you have to oblige by your rules. Thank you for the time and the work you do for all of us. Absolutely, yo, Phoenix, it's my pleasure. Happy to do what I do, and happy you guys joined to come learn. It doesn't. I could do this all day, right? I could help teach you guys all day, but it's up to you guys to show up and make a difference in your trading routine. So be proud of yourself. Apple looks like it's ready to dump. Don't forget, guys, it's 0 day, so you'd want to take it with momentum. You could probably see 182. Look at that rejection off that fair value gap, guys. We'll go over what a fair value gap is shortly. Guys, give me a half a second. I'm just gonna grab some tissues. Again, I am running a bit of a cold, bit of a flu or something. I think I was taking care of my mom. She had flu in the hospital. I think I caught that from her. But TMI, no. But I'll be back in a second. Keep watching the charts. Again, just a second. Just grab a box of tissues. Alright, y'all, I am back. Looks like a rally-based rally on NASDAQ, potentially. Something I'd definitely be interested in, maybe playing some longs on, as long as equities want to hold up as well. Times, let's see. So we'd get a rally, a base, maybe a rally. I do think we're going to pull back first, though. Would like to see a pullback first. That way we could also get a better entry on it. Maybe want to see something like this. Stop loss there. Damn. Good stuff, guys. Really good stuff today. Great trade examples, great trades. VIX is still dropping, still bullish. There we go, NASDAQ. Go right through the zone. There we go. Good stuff. Really good stuff, guys. And it's always important, guys, to be able to control your emotions when you're trading, because if you get excited over a win, it just means you're going to get super upset over a loss, and we can't be doing that. We have to, and sometimes, most of the time, the reason for that because of the size of our position and the size of the loss we take. That's why it's so important to always be risking the same amount and to have our risks or reward be at least 2 to 1, 3 to 1, so our winners really take over our losers. Look at that. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I did miss this entry. I was trying to enter. I missed it because as soon as it opened, it wicked for a split second and then it popped. So if anything, what you could do is you could enter when it breaks that and bring our stop loss up a little bit. But that's a little tough, right? Because we should be keeping our stop loss at the previous candle's wick. So I'm going to stay patient. I'm going to wait. There's that key level on ES. That would have been another good target. Good stuff, guys. Really good market. Good market conditions today because it's giving us opportunities to the upside and downside. And also, look at this. So it was this trend line that really gave it away for me. This trend line had 1, 2, 3 touches. So there's the confirmation. Then it came down here and it broke it for a moment and wicked, which gave us the liquidity grab, along with making divergence to ES. So if we ended up getting a long position here, right? Let's say we got a long position down there, and we had our entry as soon as the candle closed and targeted up there. That's 3-to-1 risks to reward. We would have really been able to ride this trend. Here we go. Now we can't be chasing this trade up here, because then we'd be buying at the highs of this candle, and we could end up wicking, right? We got 2 seconds on this 5-minute. See if we pull back. VIX still dropping. Equities are looking strong. Yeah, equities are looking strong. I'm really a fan of that. I want a pullback before we continue. We're also at this key level. I get way too many Twitter notifications. I'm sorry, X notifications. We could pull back here, guys. Because we are at this key level, and we are at this key level. That's 2 key levels. We have been strong. We have been trying to make new highs. Trend being our friend should be going higher. Don't want to fight it. Let's see if we hit that target on NASDAQ up here, right? That would have been our final target to make this a 3-to-1 risk to reward. Nvidia's strong. Meta's getting a little weak and choppy. Tesla did have a strong candle on the last 5-minute, but now it's sort of pulling back. But all it needs is a push, and then this 5-minute will be strong too. There's no reason to get shorts yet. Just gotta stay patient. Trend's our friend. There we go, NASDAQ, couple points away. I personally liked. Alright, so there's ES's in that supply zone again. But it did break the supply zone previously for a moment. Now, I'd be wanting a pullback so we could enter. We want to enter on pullbacks. We don't want to enter on strong moves unless we're scalping. But after this strong move over here, a pullback would be necessary to continue. It was a nice pullback. It's a little stop hunt of a pullback. Tesla with a nice rejection on the 5-minute too. And that 5-minute just closed. Staying patient on this, guys. Don't want to fight the trend. We wanted that pullback. Nice, nice. Nice. Good stuff, good stuff. Gonna look to scale out right there. Oof. These wicks, guys. A lot of wicks, a lot of volatility. And NASDAQ still hasn't hit our target of this supply zone. I'm gonna look to exit 2 long positions. If we get one more little wick higher, 45, 43 is where I'm gonna look to exit. I doubled down on this pullback. 45, 43 is right before that supply zone. That's why. VIX has still been dropping. That's a strong bullish indicator. But we're staying patient because now we're coming into a lot of resistance up here. So as much as the bull trend is our friend, we're coming into resistance, so there's usually a pullback, there's usually some type of chop before we're able to break. Yeah, NASDAQ's pretty weak right now. but we still got 2.5 minutes on the 5 minute, right? So no reason to stress. If we got in on our entries on pullbacks, that's good. That's what we want. We should have a reasonable stop loss. We shouldn't be too heavy in size. Two minutes left on the 5 minute. NASDAQ is really trying to reject, but it's having trouble. We'd like to see a stronger drop on the VIX. That would also help with some confirmation that we're going to continue lower. Got a minute 30 left. If we could get a pump on NASDAQ, that'd be great. Equities are looking weak, though, so we do have to be careful. We sort of have a liquidity grab on NVIDIA through VWAP, right? So it broke VWAP, gave us a wick up here, and is now rejecting lower. NVIDIA can have a big hold on us. However, we have this little bit of a channel, there's a little bit of a flag pattern on Meta, so we could bounce here and go higher. We're coming near an area of interest on Tesla, so that could also hold us and push us higher. So a lot of times these bear moves, what looks like could be a bear move, could be a bear trap. And we don't want to get trapped. We want to trade with the trend. We want to enter on those traps to the upside. We want to enter on those traps to the trend. But again, we want to trade accordingly. If we were able to get in down here, then we'd be able to get in heavier. Guys, don't get sick.
I hope you feel better soon, Kevin.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm hoping to be at least better by next week. You know, I want to try to get on earlier for you guys so we can make some trade plans and make a better trade routine. All right, I'm out of 2 contracts there. That was a great move higher. Holding 2 right now. And we still haven't hit that target on NASDAQ, which is up here. And look at that, guys. That NASDAQ candle that looked red and bearish ended up closing green, right? So that was a bear trap. Again, getting some pullback. We are getting rejection. We're looking at these wicks. Sellers are trying to hold us. We're in the supply. Sellers are trying to hold us. See if Meta wants to hold up in this channel right there. Go higher. But things are looking pretty weak right now, so I'm not sure. But again, guys, when things look weak in a bull market, a lot of times is a fake out. Nice. I don't like that VIX is sort of starting to chop, so I'm probably going to look to like completely exit my position here. Or at least move my stop loss to break even. I would like one more push higher. But the market doesn't care what I like or what I would like. The market only moves the way it wants to move. And we have to react to the market. Nice, nice. A little bit of a stop hunt there.
Kevin, that supply zone has been breached now.
Yes.
So how do you deal with it? Just an area of interest, or are we still using it for liquidity?
So I'm going to use it for liquidity because it was breached today. If it was breached yesterday, I'd probably delete it or use it as an area of interest for today. But because it was just breached today, it needed that volume and volatility to push through it. So there's still a lot of that volume sitting there.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Kevin.
Sure, but because like you mentioned, we did breach it, that does mean it's more than likely to breach it again.
Noted. Yeah, good point. Thanks.
For sure. Absolutely. Part of me wants to add on these pullbacks, but because we have all of this what's it called, support here, it's sort of tough to add on that. Resistance, I mean, there's a lot of resistance up here, right? Resistance here, resistance here. Big pullbacks. See if it's stop hunting. Market loves to stop hunt before it continues. How many times are you guys in a trade and it goes, wicks your stop loss, and then it continues higher, continues lower? Nice. Noise. Alright, let's check out what the hourly's doing, guys, and what the 30 minutes doing. We haven't really checked those too recently. Let's see. So yeah, 1 hour is a bit of a chop fest. 30-minute as well. What a gap down on that 5-minute open. That was on micros. I'm looking at that on the other chart. With higher volatility like this, guys, we might be better off trading something like micros because of the amount of points that are being moved throughout the day, right? So sometimes we're in a 5-point range and we'd be okay trading the full, ES and stuff. But sometimes we want to be trading micros because we could add multiple contracts and we could really trade accordingly. NASDAQ still hasn't hit that target up here. And if it didn't hit the target, then it's just noise. But we are getting a lot of rejection right now. A lot of pullback, a lot of pushback. Oof. What a pullback. Let's check out what NASDAQ's doing, right? NASDAQ's looking awfully weak. But this could be a flag before we pop again. So I might look to enter NASDAQ. If we wick below this wick right here, I might look to enter NASDAQ long. Although VIX is sort of choppy. So I'm going to stay patient, guys. Now we stay patient. That's weird. Hold up. What? Oh, okay. Oh, guys, just an FYI, that save 90 is back again. Ironclad, I don't know if you could hear me now, but that save 90 is back again for Apex, which is awesome.
Right, I'm on that.
Nice. Look at that big stop out, guys. Got a minute 50 in this candle. We want to stay patient. Can't enter here because then our stop loss would be here and our take profits right there. That's not even a 1-to-1. A lot of resistance. But the longer we stay up here, the higher the chances we break right through because we're drawing liquidity from these zones. There goes NASDAQ. There's that target on NASDAQ, guys. That would have been a great trade off of this divergence down here. That trade itself was a over 2-to-1. Oh, it might be 3-to-1. Hold up. Yeah, 3-to-1 risks a reward on that trade, guys. Beautiful. And if we targeted the top of supply, would have been almost a 4-to-1. That would have been a really, really great trade, guys. Really nice stuff. Might continue now. But VIX has not shown that strength like it has before. I'm waiting for VIX to show some strength again. Part of me's considering a short position because of how strong we've been, and because this could be a head and shoulders, but we'll see. We'll be patient. Yes, looking strong. Equities are sort of pulling back, though. So again, we have a lot of resistance up here. We can't be chasing longs up here. Nice. Now, here we go. Alright, I'm getting out of that. I scalped it short from this zone. I'm sure I exited too early, but, just wanted to get that scalp and get some extra gains in there. When I trade, I'm better, guys. I promise when I'm better, and as our Discord community knows, when I'm in the right headspace, my trades are a lot more clear, a lot more disciplined. But even when I'm sick, I'm able to make my money back. I'm able to stay green on the day. I'm able to do my thing.
You need a good couple of days in bed, Kevin.
Yeah. Right. See, I was just in 6 micros of MNQ. And I scalped about just 10 points. And 10 times 12, let's see. So, MNQ contracts, micro NASDAQ contract is $2 a point. So if I had 6 contracts, it's $12 a point. 10 points, $120 right there. Real quick, in and out. In and out. The reason I scalped was because the bulls have had that control and it was starting to wick. So I wanted to get out with some profits. And it's hard to counter trend trade like that, right? And that's also, Victoria, that's why also I like to leave these supply zones, even though it did break earlier. Look, it was still an area of interest.
Yeah, I see.
I love it when we get like real-time examples. What could be better? Probably going to continue here. Not sure. We will see.
So would that be a head and shoulders on MNQ right there?
It looks like it. But as we saw yesterday, right? We saw that head and shoulders and we thought it would play out, and it did not play out. So we do have to take market context into factor. And also, I'm not a big fan of the head and shoulders because look, to make this right shoulder, we came down all the way down here first. So I'm not that big of a fan of it, but it's still an area where, okay, we could go short here and have our stop loss around here and, you know, make a nice risk to reward on that trade. So as long as we have a good risk to reward on the trade and we know how much we're risking and we're okay with losing that risk, then it's okay to take that trade. We just need confirmation, know what our risk is, know what our reward is, and ask ourselves, will the reward outweigh the risk? If not, why would I take this trade? And vice versa. I'm definitely a little bit kicking myself for not taking longs on NQ down here, even though we did have this upper wick. I should have acknowledged that VIX also gave us a little bit of a liquidity grab, and so did ES. But again, can't be upset with ourselves for not taking trades, but we gotta just learn from it, right? We gotta gain the experience. We're in the market to learn and gain experience, so let's just do that, right? So if you were still considering short positions up here, you know, you'd be able to maybe grab it here and make the risks or reward even better in your favor. Now it's a 4 to 5. Now it's 5 to 1, 4 to 1. You know, grab it somewhere in here with a tight stop loss. Right now it's risking 80 to make 400. Based off of, you know, if it's that part is based off of the settings. See if we want to do 200. And if the size is too big, right? If you want to risk 80 on this to make the 200 or whatever, and it says 0.75 because we're on NASDAQ and it's $20 a point, that means you can't even buy one whole contract for that. That means you want to go into the micros and you want to see, well, what are the micros doing, right? Well, here we go. Now it says 1.6. So now you could get 1 or 2 contracts. Maybe we'll We'll change this and make it 100. See how that is. Now it's 2 contracts. You're risking $100 to make $240. That's a good risk to reward. It's really good. It's really helpful to be able to visualize with the Trading View tool.
Do you know if Tradeovate or Ninja Trader has that chart right there?
No, they don't. This is like one of the greatest tools TradingView has, and I don't think anybody else has it. I know TOS definitely doesn't have it. Tradeovate does not have it. But when you trade with Tradeovate, are you on a funded account or a eval account?
I'm still doing paper for this week.
I'm still doing paper. You're able to, if you have a TradingView, if you even just get the free version of TradingView, you're able to hit the trading panel, and you're able to connect your Tradeovate to it and paper trade your Tradeovate account on TradingView. So you could use all these tools. And TradingView is just a lot cleaner of a chart tool.
Sorry, what was that? You can connect Tradeovate to TradingView.
Absolutely.
How much is that?
It's free. I believe it's free for. I know it's free for the Apex accounts. I want to say, part of me thinks it's like a $20 fee, like a monthly for to connect it. I don't think so. I think you just have to give it access. I'm gonna look into that for you guys.
It's all right. I'll fiddle with it. I'll try it. Thanks.
All right, sure. But we've been a little strong. I wouldn't recommend taking any short positions here. Could be.
Yo, anybody awake in here?
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
What's going on? Yo, how did this stream go with that OBS thing?
It wasn't as clear as I'd hoped it would be, so.
I was thinking it either might not be clear or you might not be able to hear and communicate with people because it goes through OBS.
Right, it does that for the video only.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What I was hoping to do, I mean, I was still able to communicate with people on the call. What I was hoping to do is to be able to add the audio mixer to that so we can have a little ambiance or whatever. You know, a little background.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah. And as long as we keep it off of YouTube in that respect, you know, it would be cool because then it would just be exclusive to us. We wouldn't be, you know, in copyright infringement issues.
Right. Well, it would all depend on the song. So, bro, so many times we'll be doing like the Tuesday or Thursday recording, and it'll be unlisted, and the phone will catch my music playing in the background, and be like, sorry. It's like, sorry, you're not Gucci Mane, you can't play that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they'll nail just like a slight whim of music in the background. It could be ever so faint.
Yep. For a second, and it's like, yeah, Shazam that right now.
Yeah. Although they don't care for reels because they allowed me to keep my audio on that reel.
Oh, that's cool. Send me that reel again. Let me post that on our YouTube.
I gotta get the original. I think I still have it.
Whether it's the one with the audio or the one without. I'd prefer the one without just to rather be safe than sorry, but if you got the audio one too, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll see what I can find. It's gotta be in my database somewhere.
Alright guys, look at that. We're coming up to that key level. We just wicked that key level, 155.4450. And that's actually the high of this candle. So that would have been a great target if we ended up taking this long position from this divergence down here. Again, this was not a trade that I personally took, but it was a trade that I was calling out and was looking at for it to potentially work out for us. So if we did end up targeting that key level, that would have been almost a 4-to-1 risk to reward on that trade.
This accumulation's taking forever, but it could still break either way.
Yeah.
There is range compression possible here, though, because we had range expansion from the open. So, like, we could get a diamond here.
Right.
So that's kind of on the table, I guess.
Yep. Nope, we're just staying strong.
If it makes a bullish 1-for-1, it goes to 450, 250 pretty quick.
Damn, that would have been a really clean trade down here with that trend line plus divergence confirmation. Those are the types of confirmations we look for, guys. We want multiple confirmations. Trend lines are huge. Divergence is huge. Once we start adding these up, huge, 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 huge. Print out, type up all the things you look for. You know, I got a little list. I used to keep it up. Oh, I do still have it up. Of let's see, trade setups, right? I look for equities, gaps make demand into supply, news moves or volume spikes for liquidity grabs, ES and NQ at VWAP, just trend line rejections, make sure I follow the trend, have a stop loss, take profit, and just, you know, confirmations. Is ES, NQ, and VIX all showing strength? Are they all continuously making higher highs or higher lows? What's going on? Just read the chart. There's no reason to get extra with it. Just read the chart. Are we in a range? If we can't figure out the trend, if we can't figure out if we're in a range, what do? We zoom out. Got to tell yourself, when in doubt, zoom out.
That or look left.
That or look left. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, Richard, you saw how that the head and shoulders we were looking at, that didn't work out. And I'm glad I scalped that short right there, because we ended up reversing going higher.
Looking like Shopify could complete this move here.
And check out Meta, guys. I gave it these trend lines. We went through, we rejected, came back to the low, and now we're pushing higher to this key level. Very choppy market. Got to remember, today is Friday. And because it's Friday, they want things to expire worthless. And it's just going to chop around a little bit. It's not going to be too smooth of a trend. We did get a rally, a base, and a rally on NASDAQ. So we coulda, woulda, shoulda. We could have taken this long. Stop loss right there and targeted the top. Or let's see. Even if we made it a 2-to-1 right there, 2-to-1 with the rally base rally, and we would have had our one clean trade right there. Boom, 10-minute trade. 10-minute 2-to-1, very good.
This is looking like it could fake out and break over here. Going for bear on a dare. I'm waiting for the break of this range. It's got to break. All ranges break. You can't stay this tight forever.
I'm going to leave my comment to myself because it's inappropriate. Jeremy trying to set me up.
Oh, you're triggered now. Well, I mean, I'll post it. I'll post a screen grab. Hang on. Where am I? Wrong chat.
You're in Bullishbrs.
Well, I drew this little.
Yo, Sig used to do morning streams, like in the morning like we do, or he used to do afternoon streams?
He would he'd do the pre-market briefing, and for a while he would do mid-afternoon streams.
Oh, okay.
So I have an angular resistance printed out on SPY right here, and it's like we've got range expansion coming from the pre-market. It kind of peaked right there at the open, and there's an angular right there. That's what I'm concerned about, is we make a diamond top and basically just fall into range between like 449 50 and 451.20.
Right.
And tighten into the day. That's what it's looking like is happening right now. It's starting to break over. And I've got a few bearish trades on that are doing good.
Yo, check out this 1 hour demand zone we made yesterday, guys. Remember, everybody who was in the, what's it called channel? The Traders Lounge channel with me yesterday? I was saying to watch the hourly to close bullish on NASDAQ, and it did. And then we ended up getting a bit of a move, and we created a 1 hour demand zone. And then what happened today, that 1 hour demand zone held up again. So it gave us other trade opportunities. So not only did we have the divergence, we had the divergence below a trend line in demand. That's 3 heavy confirmations. Huge, huge. If I wasn't sick and I was thinking all here and I saw that real time, I would have taken that trade without hesitation. In fact, I probably would have went heavier in size on that trade due to all those confirmations. Look at that. This is the demand zone I'm talking about. One hour demand. And drawing.
There we go.
So again, trend line 3 touches confirmed trend line. Then we had a broke in low with divergence. That's a liquidity grab on the trend line with divergence in demand. So what's that? Divergence, liquidity grab, rejected trend line, and demand. 4 confirmations. How many more confirmations do we need on that trade? That would have been really, really clean, really, really nice. Didn't take the trade. That's okay. It is something I called out and was looking at real time with you guys. And again, I am not feeling well. When we don't feel well, we don't trade right, and we don't see things as clearly as we normally do.
Kevin, can I ask a quick question? You've got a green demand zone above your supply zone on the NQ. What's that all about?
I have a green demand zone?
Yeah, on your NASDAQ chart.
Are you talking about this zone right here?
I think so, yeah.
So that's a blue zone. That's an area of interest. So if we zoom out on the chart,
I thought you couldn't have it if it was above a red zone, and if we were below it, then shouldn't that be supply?
so that's supply and demand. Supply has to be above, demand has. Oh wait, there's also this 45 I gotta delete.
That's the one I was on about.
Oh, that one. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I just forgot to delete that.
Okay, well, that's cool.
But this area of interest was originally let's try to see what time frame it came from. It looks like a lot of time areas of interest will come from a supply or demand zone. And it looks like this area...
Yeah, that makes sense. It was the green zone I was thinking. Why has he got a green zone above all the red?
So check this out. This area of interest was actually a 15-minute demand zone, right? But it had a super strong impulse move up higher. And what I did was I marked it. This was originally green, and it didn't work at all. It wicked, and it broke it immediately. But like I usually do, I wanted to keep it for that day to see how it would play. Then we ended up rejecting it. So look, it was support, then it was resistance, then it was support, then we chop around in it, and then we come back to over here, and it was an area of support, broke it, and now it was an area of resistance. So I don't like to have too many zones on my chart, but I do like to back test and check where recently we've been rejecting or recently we have trend lines. So you see how I have my trend lines pretty spaced out. They're all about 90 points away from each other, or this one's probably like 100 and something, 120 points away from each other. So in between these trend lines, I'm going to want to find some areas of interest where, you know, there might be a reversal or there might be something going on that I might miss because of the key levels, or I might miss because, look, there's no valid supply zone here because we just kept, you know, dropping. But this area of interest was an area where we wicked here, and now it's an area where we wicked here.
AMD just pushed right to the top of my liquidity zone. And I think it might reverse here.
We're looking at AMD. Yeah, AMD is strong, guys.
more or less made a 1-for-1, but it's right at the top of my liquidity zone.
Guys, AMD would have been a nice trade if you took it here. So we got to look at areas of interest as gaps as well, right? So when we make gaps in the market, we have to think that a lot of retail traders are looking for us to close that gap. Now, a lot of times we won't close the gap as soon as we open, but we might pump a bit, and then look, we came back, and as soon as we broke the lows, we started wicking. So the gap we created liquidity there, so it's almost like we use that gap as demand. So I'm going to mark that out real quick. So people who were taking this gap to go short, once we're below this candle's wick at 114.30, I'm going to want to take it short and target the gap fill at 113.16. It's a good dollar move, but we got 2 wicks. And this candle right here being a liquidity grab because of the longer wick and the small body, we ended up pumping about a good move from there. About $2.50 from there, almost $3. So let's say we just got $2 on that trade. Let's see what AMD contracts were doing. AMD August. What's today's date? The 8th? No.
No, the 4th.
Yeah.
4th. May the 4th be with you.
I'm running a wheel trade on AMD, so.
Nice. Oh, so you know. And then let's say we did like the there are 117 calls. Awesome. So, right, we want to just look at something cheap, right? Just to get an example. We would have been able to get these calls down here around for just pennies, right? Just $15, anywhere from, let's see, anywhere it's about where's the range on that? Doesn't want to give me the range. Oh, wait. Zoom in. The range on this was 9 cents. So could have got it anywhere from $12 to $19. And it hit a high. It's still sitting around $70. So guys, percent-wise, let's say we even got it up here for $20. And we're sitting up here, we're looking at over 295% return on that. That's a great trade. And that's because it's a 0 day. We would want to be in and out of that trade directionally. Alright, so look at that, 295% on that trade. If we got in on the highs there, not even if we got in on the lows. If we got in on the lows, we're just looking at a higher percent gain. 400%, it all depends on your entry, guys, especially if we're trading options. But with options, you do have to be more careful, especially on these 0 days. And AMD also, guys, that would have been on our watch list to take long because it was the most relatively strong stock, percent change-wise. And I called that out this morning, too. Did call that out before we got the pullback. But still, that would have been a great trade. Really good stuff. Now back to our NASDAQ ES. Alright, ladies and gents, at least of the YouTube, I am going to wrap it up there. I appreciate you guys for tuning in today. It was a great trading lesson. Hope you guys learned something. Again, it was really good, really informative. We went over a lot of good trade setups, a lot of good confirmations, what I look for confirmation-wise. Now we took some trades. Really good stuff today. Hope you guys all learned. Hope you guys took some good trades. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget to check out our webinar. I might push it back again from tomorrow to Sunday. Webinar is going to be more on just charting and how I chart, so it's not going to be too much slides. It's just going to be, live charting And I might switch the webinars to weekly reviews, and we'll do like weekly setups, and we'll be looking at equities, what equities look strongest on the weekly, on the daily, and we'll take it from there. So we'll be looking for good swing trade setups as well. I know a lot of people are asking about good swing trades and good equity trades. All right, YouTube, have a great day. Happy